morning. I'm Larry Loomis-Price. I've been asked to speak about my involvement with Eastern religions and how it impacts my life and my choice of being a Unitarian Universalist. My interest in Eastern religions began in my early 30s after a series of difficult personal growth moments that I've talked about in previous visits to this podium. At that time, I became interested in rationally whether or not humans have a soul, and whether that might persist past the end of physical life, and whether what we do in life affects that process. At the time I started studying Buddhism, I gave up eating red meat almost 30 years ago now as a spiritual practice to remind me daily of this quest to understand some of these deep questions. Shortly thereafter, I got the opportunity to work in the country of Thailand, which is one of the very few countries in the world that recognizes Buddhism as a state religion. Between 85 and 90% of all Thais are Buddhist. I was there for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, several times a year over the course of about 6 years. Early on in my visit there, I talked with one of my Thai colleagues about Buddhism and asked what now at the time seems horrifyingly condescending about, to what extent does being Buddhist actually affect their day-to-day lives. She was horrified and told me that Buddhism affects them all the time, every day, every way. It permeates the spirit of the Thais, which I found out over the many years of my visits there. The Thais are filled with the Buddhist spirit of loving kindness. It does affect everything that they do all the time. That had a profound impact on me, and I became a true student of Buddhism. I cannot claim to be Buddhist. I think it's very, very difficult for somebody who's raised in Western culture to actually commit completely to Buddhism. I know a couple of people who have managed it, but I'm not one of those. I don't participate in the rituals of any of the different Buddhist sects. Those don't speak to me. But the parts that do affect me day to day include the spiritual practice of not eating red meat, which I've already talked about, adherence to daily meditation, and that underlying belief in the existence of a perfectible human soul. Daily meditation is just good for me. It calms me, it centers me, and it helps me focus on the important things in my life. And there are plenty of scientific studies that support those findings that I made personally about myself. Now, as to the soul, the left part of my brain notes that because of the principles of quantum entanglement, human beings are in fact connected to all of the other living creatures around us, and in fact to the entire universe. The energy patterns that we put together over the course of our lifetime are difficult to assemble, and we have every reason to believe that they are that difficult to dissipate, and they last past the end of our physical existence. It seems likely that they last past our deaths. Now, my right brain is really just content with the Buddhist belief in a long-lasting and perfectible soul. So both parts of my brain move me to try to be the best person that I can be. Not all the time, not every day. I don't manage that, but I do the best I can. This is the major reason why I feel most comfortable with the religion of Unitarian Universalism, and why I have been tending Northwoods for close to 20 years now. Thank you. Namaste.